Definitely not moving down, but moving up, maybe one day. But right now, 125, perfect category for me. I don't have a tough cut at all.
There's a moment in every sport when a single name begins echoing louder than the rest. A moment when fans, fighters, and commentators all seem to agree that someone special is coming. And right now, that moment belongs to Dakota Ditcheva. You hear it on podcasts, see it in highlight reels, feel it in interviews, the collective excitement around a fighter who seems destined for greatness. UFC commentator Laura Sanko, one of the most respected voices in MMA, summed it up best when she said, "What a fighter." The women's division needs a superstar, and she's it. She wasn't exaggerating. She was announcing a truth the fight world had been whispering for months. They call her the violent Cinderella, and that name captures the duality perfectly. Outside the cage, Dakota is calm, elegant, composed, but inside, she's something else entirely. A storm of precision, power, and purpose. Fans call her the total package. Beautiful, intelligent, deadly, and humble. Everything you'd want in the next face of women's MMA. And yet, she's not in the UFC. Not yet. Which is exactly why so many are starting to question, what's taking so long? Because when someone this talented comes around, every moment of hesitation feels like history being delayed. A rising star and a growing frenzy. As the days go by, the noise only gets louder. MMA Twitter has become her unofficial fan club. Threads, clips, compilations, all filled with the same message. Why isn't Dakota Ditcheva already in the UFC? Analysts can't help but praise her technical sharpness, and fans compare her striking to a mix between Valentina Shevchenko's precision and Joanna Jędrzejczyk's aggression. That's high praise, and she's earning every bit of it. Even former fighters have started weighing in, calling her the future of the flyweight division. For the women's scene, it feels like something big is brewing. The kind of buzz that only happens when a fighter connects with audiences beyond their performances. Dakota doesn't rely on trash talk or theatrics. She carries herself with quiet authority, and that humility only amplifies her aura. When she says, "I want to be the queen of this division worldwide," you believe her. Not because she's bragging, but because her record speaks louder than any words could. With every victory, every clean strike, every dominant round, she's sending a message to the UFC brass. I'm ready. The sport thrives on evolution, and right now, Dakota Ditcheva feels like evolution in motion. A new chapter waiting to be written in women's MMA. The birth of the violent Cinderella. To understand Dakota Ditcheva, you have to go back to the place where this story began. Manchester, England. Her childhood wasn't about play dates and video games. It was about discipline, repetition, and the sound of gloves hitting pads. Her mother, Lisa Howarth, wasn't just a fighter, she was a pioneer. A world champion kickboxer who owned a gym for over 30 years. That gym became Dakota's playground, her classroom, and eventually her proving ground. She watched fighters come and go, learning from their sweat, their mistakes, their resilience. It was there, surrounded by heavy bags and determination, that Dakota's fairy tale began. Not the kind written in books, but the kind forged through struggle. She grew up not just wanting to fight. She grew up believing that fighting was part of her DNA. And that's the Cinderella part of the nickname. The girl who grew up in the shadows, quietly perfecting her craft while the world looked elsewhere. But when the cage door closes, the transformation happens. Gone is the polite young woman with the British accent and calm demeanor. What remains is raw fury disguised as finesse. She doesn't just fight to win, she fights to prove that every hour spent in that gym as a child meant something. Every bruise, every sacrifice, every dream her mother once had. She carries it all inside that cage. The reign of the PFL Queen. Before the UFC ever called, the Professional Fighters League became Dakota's kingdom. And inside that cage, she reigned supreme. Undefeated, unflinching, unmatched. Her performances weren't just victories, they were masterclasses. Her timing, her footwork, her composure, it all looked effortless. But behind that ease lies obsession. She studies every opponent like a puzzle to be solved. And when the fight begins, it's surgical. In one of her most dominant outings, she controlled every second of a 15-minute bout so completely that commentators ran out of ways to describe her dominance. The audience was stunned not just by her skill, but by her composure. And even more stunned when, after the fight, she said she was disappointed she didn't get the finish. That's what champions sound like. It's not about winning, it's about perfection. And for Dakota, perfection is a moving target she's always chasing. Training at American Top Team under legendary coaches, she's polished her game to near completeness. Once known primarily as a Muay Thai striker, a two-time British champion, she's now comfortable wherever the fight goes, striking, grappling, or clinching. Every opponent who steps in front of her learns the same lesson. This isn't just another prospect. This is a generational talent in the making. The warning from Laura Sanko. When Laura Sanko speaks, the fight world listens, and her message to the UFC was crystal clear. Bring her in now. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a warning, because Sanko knows talent when she sees it. She's seen the rise of champions from their earliest fights, and she understands the rare combination of skill, charisma, and star quality that turns fighters into legends. The UFC can't afford to miss this one. Women's flyweight is at a crossroads. Valentina Shevchenko, the longtime queen, is nearing the twilight of her reign. The division needs a new face, someone who can ignite interest, headline cards, and inspire fans again. Dakota Ditcheva is that spark. She's young, undefeated, magnetic, and already has crossover appeal beyond hardcore MMA circles. Even those who don't follow the PFL know her name. The violent Cinderella persona, elegant yet deadly, sells itself. It's not forced, it's authentic. And when you pair authenticity with dominance, you get the recipe for a superstar. Dana White's team has built empires off fighters like Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, and Rose Namajunas. But now, there's a new heir apparent waiting outside the gates, and Laura Sanko is practically shouting, "Don't let her slip away." The dream fight and the destiny ahead. Imagine it. The octagon lights dim, the crowd roars, and two women stand across from each other. On one side, the legendary Valentina Shevchenko, the embodiment of precision and legacy. On the other, Dakota Ditcheva, the new era, the violent Cinderella stepping into destiny. It's more than a fight. It's symbolism. It's the old guard versus the new blood. Shevchenko's dominance has lasted years, but every empire eventually meets a challenger who doesn't just want the throne. She's built for it. Dakota has already said she's open to it. If the opportunity comes, I'll take it. That's confidence, not arrogance. She knows exactly where she stands and how high she can climb. Analysts have started to call her the natural successor, the one who can bring back the intensity and storylines that women's divisions have been missing. And fans can feel it too. Every jab, every knee, every measured breath in the cage screams that she's ready for the biggest stage. The question isn't if she'll reach the UFC, it's when. Because destiny doesn't wait forever, and Dakota Ditcheva's destiny is already knocking on the octagon door. The future of women's MMA. Every generation in MMA has a fighter who changes the game. Someone who brings not just skill, but a new kind of energy, a sense that the sport is about to evolve again. For women's MMA, that person might just be Dakota Ditcheva.